everybody. Happy Sunday to you. It's Region Weather Meteorologist Matt Wintz with a look at your forecast for Christmas week here on our Region Weather Live. We're going to go beyond that because you can check your phone and look at Christmas week, and you probably see some weird numbers on there. We'll highlight that coming up here in the forecast. Could it be a warm Christmas? Well, it certainly does look like it. My goodness, especially the days after. So we'll chat about that. But we'll tell you what you can't get on your iPhone that you've got in your hand right now. We're going to talk about next year. We're going to get into at least the first week of next year. We see a decent pattern change coming back our way. And we'll take you through snowfall and all that stuff. We got a lot to cover here on Christmas week. Hope you guys are doing well. We've got a lot going on, obviously, in our house. I'm sure you guys do too. So let's get right to it. I want to thank our sponsors first. Then we'll check in with our early birds here on this Sunday evening. And then we'll get our show on the road. I want to start with Kate Cusack, your home loan girl. She's making the home buying process merry, bright, and stress-free this holiday season. She's here to help you finance your new home and get ready to slay the savings when interest rates drop, making the mortgage process easier than ever. Contact her today to set yourself up for a financially cozy new year. It's Kate Cusack, Home Loan Girl on Facebook, or you can check her out there. You can message her on Facebook if you want. That's probably the easiest way to get a hold of her. She's busy too, I'm sure, but not busy enough to say no to helping you out, getting lower rates. How about the rates coming down as well? That's good. Minogue.life. Michael Minogue's been serving Northwest Indiana for a long time in terms of the world of life insurance, Medicare, Medicaid. He knows his stuff, and we've got brand new rules and laws that are going to go into effect in 2026 in terms of how you get your Medicare, Medicaid, all that stuff. People who have PPO plans with Aetna, Anthem, United Healthcare, or Humana need to be aware that each of these companies here in Northwest Indiana has decided to discontinue at least one of their Part C Medicare Advantage preferred provider plans. That's a lot of P's there. If you've not chosen a different plan or a supplemental plan, you will, starting on January 1st, right, coming up here, revert to having traditional only Medicare Part A and B. You won't have any drug coverage. Good news is that if you fall into that category, you're in a special enrollment opportunity that you can select any plan that's offered in the area with no medical questions, but you need to get on that before the new year hits. Michael can help you sort that out. Free consultations. He's a wonderful guy. He knows his stuff. You want to make sure you have the right plan going into the new year. Make sure you're getting as much as you can out of your plan as well. Minogue.life is the website to go to there. TNT Tree Service. When it comes to tree removal, experience matters. TNT Tree Service in Valparaiso is a family-owned company specializing in dangerous removals using modern equipment. Guys, if you have a tree that's looking weird, if one fell in the fall and now we're finally starting to thaw out, you need to get to it. Call TNT Tree Service 219-300-6256, or you can visit them at ttreeservice.com is the website to go to there. Publicserviceadjusting.com, that's our public service adjusters, local moms and dads who are licensed insured adjusters. If you have an insurance claim on your property, instead of bringing your insurance company out first, bring them out, give them a call. They come out, document it, submit a package to your insurance company, and they deal with the back and forth with your insurance company. They do an amazing job. They'll get you top dollar, and you don't have to deal with the headache of callbacks and playing phone tag with your insurance providers. Publicserviceadjusting.com, the place to go to there. Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. They got brand new Jeeps. 2026 collection looks good. It's ready to go, especially the Wagoneer. They've got great four-wheel drive options as well for the rest of winter around here. Right there on US 30, Grieger's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Valparaiso. TigerPlumbing.net. If you guys need a plumber this winter season, boy, pipes always scare me when we get cold. Thankfully, we're warming up, but Tiger Plumbing can help you repair any pipes that you have problems with. They'll help you install new faucets that you get from Santa for Christmas. Whatever it happens to be plumbing related, call Tiger Plumbing. They come out for free, which is crazy. So many people charge you $100 just to come out because apparently they need gas money, which I get. But Tiger Plumbing does not charge you for that. And again, it's tigerplumbing.net is the website there. FBIbuildings.com if you need a new pole barn construction. We've got commercial. They do residential. They've done over 20,000 of them in the Midwest. They do an amazing job. They'll even renovate your pole barn structure that you may have on your property or your business property already. They'll fix it up. They have some great work on Facebook page. You should check it out, FBIbuildings.com, the place to go there. EarlsHeating.com, if you need anything related to your furnace, perhaps you need a tune-up. Maybe it's not blowing out as hot as it used to be. They'll certainly take care of that. Any heating problems that you may have as we go throughout the winter, call Earls. They've been serving Northwest Indiana since 1976. How about that? Let them take care of your indoor environment. We'll focus on the outdoor. They'll even add a humidifier to your furnace as well to keep that humidity around so you're not zapping yourself, so you can breathe easier. You're not getting all that dry skin. They can take care of that for you. EarlsHeating.com is the website. Halcyon Water Solutions provides the highest quality water treatment with exceptional service all across Northwest Indiana. From water softening and filtration to salt and delivery and maintenance, they've got all your water needs covered. Call them at 866-97-WATER to schedule your free in-home water analysis today. They do amazing work on the waterfront. And finally, last but not least, Romans Roofing. If you guys need a new roof, if you need windows, if you need siding, if you need gutters, if something's not going right with your house on the exterior, they will take care of it. They do amazing work. And they're local to Hobart as well, but they service all of Northwest Indiana. They provide retail storm restoration options as well. All inspections and estimates completely free with Romans. Get them out to give you a quote. Go to romansroofing.net or call them at 219-838-9111. All right, let's get the show started here on this Sunday before Christmas. We've got Rhonda on board. Hi, Rhonda. Thanks for joining us. You're first on board here today. I appreciate that. Derek's with us on our YouTube channel. Hi, Derek. Mark's with us as well. Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Vicky, hello. Good evening to you. Susan, hello. Thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas, Nancy. Hope everything's going well. Terry's with us as well. What an exciting week here, especially for those that have kids. Jessica Ann, you're absolutely welcome for sure. I appreciate you trusting us. Lisa's with us. Lynn, hello to you. Let's see. Vicky's on board. Dee. Ethan's with us on our YouTube channel. Appreciate that. Nikki's with us as well. We've got Carol. We've got Sherry. Jeff. Hello, Jeff. Terry. Catherine. Oh, the list goes on here. John's with us on our YouTube channel as well. Paula. Mark says, hi, Tammy. So if Tammy, you didn't get that message, Mark says hi. Lynn, Merry Christmas to you. And Maxwell's here. Maxwell, you're on board, so we can get going now. Thanks for joining me here on this Sunday night. All right, let's talk pattern. Big old ridge out west. You see that big old hump in the jet stream? It goes way up and over. That's a big ridge, and that ridge is coming our way. I mean, you could just see it so pronounced on the flow and the upper air pattern. Meanwhile, we're on the cold side of things. We got a little colder here once again today, right? We had kind of the up-down temperatures last couple of days. This is as cold as we're going to be for a while around here, at least until a couple days leading up to the new year. We might get a cold shot, but this big ridge is just so pronounced coming our way. This ridge has been causing problems out west, though. This is a view of the Pacific Ocean, and I ran this over the course of about a week. And you can see what I want you to kind of see on this. Actually, it's a 3-day loop. But what you can see is how everything with this atmospheric river, you see this like train of moisture in green, head right into the Pacific Northwest. All right, they've got the awful flooding out in Washington. It extends down into California here as we speak. But they've had this constant diet over the last 3 days, and really before that, 2 weeks prior, of just a stream of moisture pointing right at the western U.S. And it targeted Washington for about 5 or 6 days. And then this latest system with this trough digging out of the Gulf of Alaska has pushed this down to the south. But all that being said, it's been very, very active out there. They've had so much flooding, especially in Washington, but now they're getting hit hard in California. All that action comes east, but all that is kind of spinning up that ridge. That Gulf of Alaska trough that's coming in is pushing the air up out ahead of it, which is out west right now. That big bubble or ridge is going to come east just in time for Christmas. So we are really going to warm things up around here. To get you started this week, though, a lot of people may be working 2 days this week. Maybe you took the whole week off. Either way, we don't have a lot of weather getting our way tomorrow. Tuesday, we'll have a few showers around. But here's tomorrow. You can see the isobars is really the main story. High pressure heads out towards the east. That's the high that brought us our cold day today. We'll develop a south wind with all these lines and a decent south wind. It'll be breezy, if not windy tomorrow, but we'll stay dry. But that wind will start to warm us up. So we'll start to warm up tomorrow. Here are your shower chances very late tomorrow evening, like after the sun goes down, which is easy to do this time of year, right? This being the shortest day in terms of daylight. We gain daylight tomorrow, like 2 seconds. How about that? But anyway, a few showers with this one, not a big deal. Maybe even some drizzle around Monday night. But by Tuesday, we're on the backside of it and cooling down. So no big weather systems coming our way over the next 2 days. That ridge I showed you, watch how this heads east, though, okay? This is your upper air pattern. See this big kind of dome here? It's like an upside-down U. This is warmth underneath it. We get used to this in the summertime. Watch how this translates east. And as this trough grows out west by Tuesday, watch how this ridge 2 grows. All right, see how that grows right over the region. This is some of the warmest air that we've had in a while around here that's coming our way. This is Christmas Day, this is Friday, and then this is on into the weekend. Notice how we start to develop a very stormy pattern after that, where that ridge is no longer in play, and now we're dealing with more of a zonal flow again with cold air, and really cold air waiting for us up in northern Canada. And so that pattern will break, but this is the pattern right here we get into Christmas week. Big old ridge across the center of the country, above average temperatures, and the storm track really goes up and around. There's not a lot of storminess coming our way in terms of the forecast this week. So let's take you through it. There's your sprinkle chance tomorrow night, tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. Tuesday looks good. Wednesday, we start to warm up again. And this is Christmas Eve right here. A few showers coming in, not a big deal. All right. This is warm air advection that'll be trying to come in. So we'll have a warm front that's trying to get in here Christmas Eve. This will actually, Santa's going to have an easy trip in on Wednesday, like afternoon, Wednesday night. But once we get towards Thursday, this return flight from Santa to the North Pole is going to be a piece of cake, because we're going to have this south wind that develops, and it's going to push him back up to the North Pole again. And so he's going to have a nice flight versus having a rough flight with cold air coming in. So as a result, few showers for Santa Christmas Eve. Shouldn't be too big of a deal, but we'll have a little bit of rain on radar. And then here's Christmas Day itself. You see how this boundary's just kind of hanging out on us? This is that warm front trying to get through here, and trust me, it will. It's just going to take its time because it's the middle of winter, so it's kind of hard to do that. Well, it's end of December. It's middle of winter in my book, meteorological. All right. I know we just started winter today. I get it. But you can see how that shower activity continues through Christmas Day, and then by Friday, it's lifting off towards the north. As long as this thing lifts north on Friday, we've got some really warm air to speak of. I mean, 60s maybe in the forecast. And same thing on Saturday as that front lifts off towards the north. So when does it change? Well, we don't bring a low pressure in until the following weekend, and it will develop and become quite strong with that temperature difference, with this push of warm air and the super cold air off towards the north. I think that's going to spin up a real decent low about this time next week. We may have some thunder with that. All right, may have a couple rounds of thunder with this on Saturday night into Sunday next week, and then we turn colder with wind and snow and a big temp drop next week. So next Sunday into Monday and Tuesday is what it's looking like right now. But this is showing up nicely in the modeling, where we have real warm air next weekend, and then boom, we get hit with cold, as you'd suspect. Can't stay warm for long. So then we'll fast forward. We stay on the cold side at least the last couple of days of the year. And then here's New Year's Eve. We're dry and we're starting to warm up again as that warm air starts to return. And then as we head into the new year, another bigger system here, and then another shot of colder air. But what's waiting out west is some even colder air. It does look like we're going to go back to that pattern again. So I want to show you two takes of this. These are your wind chills, which show us what it's doing, obviously, when the wind blows. But keep an eye on this area of cold. Okay, it's very cold up in Canada right now. There's Arctic air up there. We don't have it. I'm going to go from here, and I'm going to go to the beginning of January real fast, because I want you to see how, yes, there's cold air and all the Arctic air's up in Canada now, but that first week in January, we bring in a chunk of cold air, and watch this. We go from this to that. See how that chunk of cold air is even more pronounced here, and it looks like it's going to be ready to set its stage in the U.S. This is that big boundary that's going to be moving in later on, again, like next weekend, once we get beyond that. And then it gets even colder beyond that. So watch how that gushes in right there. And then watch this next one build. Yikes, that's real cold stuff that builds. This is January 3rd, 4th, 5th. All right, so it's going to be just waiting off towards the northwest. What we often look for, and you guys know this, is we look for the cold air to build in Siberia. We look for it to build in northern North America. And then as soon as it displaces and it dislodges and comes into Western Canada, then it's fair game to come into our area. And so what I'll be watching is that first week or two in January, when does that cold air make a spill in? Because that is often the coldest time of the year, right? We can get some Arctic air masses in here in the month of January. You guys know that. And we may be doing that. And this may have some staying power because it's a massive area of cold air. We just need something to transport it south. And I don't see that yet, not on the modeling. But just know we're going to go back to this cold pattern. So last thing I have for you here, look at temperatures this week, all right? Tomorrow, 40s, Tuesday, 40s, a little bit cooler on Wednesday behind that front. And then here's your warm-up, Christmas Day around 52. And then most of the modeling indicating 60s Friday and Saturday. wow, right? So if Santa brings you a four-wheeler or maybe some jet skis or maybe a new lawn chair, you'll be able to use all that, or a new pool. You might be able to use all that on Friday, Saturday. Just some incredible warmth. But look at the difference. Huge difference. Sunday, this time next week, and temperatures tank. We could potentially go from 60 Sunday morning next week down to 13 at night and then hold in the teens after that. I mean, that is a hit of cold air, and that could come with thunderstorms. And we may have another flash freeze with that. I know this one wasn't as pronounced. The wind kind of dried up a lot of the roads, which is good. But this is just a huge drop in terms of temps. But then it builds back up. And this is still up in the air, kind of what happens here. But I would imagine that's going to be the case. If you ever get extremes like this, you often get extremes like this time of year on the front end of that. So really interesting forecast in terms of that. All right, so let's talk about anything you guys want to talk about. You can go ahead and throw questions into the chat. We'll be happy to answer those for you, and then we'll get you on your way here on this Sunday night. What are you guys doing for Christmas? Is anyone traveling? Are you guys heading out of town? Are you hosting? Do we have any people that are hosting out there? What do you got going on? Are you just kind of laying low? Family coming to you? You seeing family locally? I'll cater our forecast based on that. I mean, if you guys are doing a lot of traveling, I'm happy to do travel forecasts this week when we put out our forecast. So there's that. All right. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate it for sure. Yeah, mean streak. It really is. This is going to be an incredible warm. Let me show you this real quick. Let me show you the temperature map to show you kind of where what we're looking at on Christmas Day all around the country. I mean, this is some really warm stuff. Here's the 26th. Look at this. Look at this air, this bubble of air coming in. We'll see if this holds. I mean, we know there's a lot of warm air under this ridge. The big question this time of year is how far north does it make it? Because sometimes the models will do this. They'll push, 65, 67 degree air in here. And then the next model run, it's not quite as far. So we're in the 50s. I mean, there's a big margin for error temperature forecasting here. But if we get into this portion of it, if that warm front lifts far enough north, again, this is the 26th, day after Christmas, then some of these numbers even overachieve. If this were to hold, if this were tomorrow on here and we were pretty locked in on where this warm front would end up, instead of 61, 57 in Gary, 66 down in Rensselaer, I would probably bump these numbers up. I would go low 60s off towards the north, and I'd probably go upper 60s near 70 south. These air masses tend to overachieve in terms of we get warmer than what the models are saying. But either way, just incredible warmth. And watch how it sticks around right there, as this front is going to be right here. But look at that difference between where we are here and just off towards the north. It's in the 40s. And so stay tuned to that forecast. I'm not quite locked in on our low 60s yet. But again, a couple more model runs of this, and we solidify where that warm front goes. And we're really talking some warm air around here. Kind of crazy. So there's that. Kevin, how about your Bears? My goodness, the Cardiac Kids. Yeah, we watched that game. They're just incredible this year. It really is something special going on in Chicago. So I know, Kevin, you've been probably the most patient person there has been with the Bears. So I appreciate that. You're really earning it this year. I hope you're enjoying. All right, Adrian is hosting. That's it. Renee, you're absolutely welcome. Merry Christmas to you, Renee. Thank you. You're welcome, Alexis. I don't know how we got through it. John's not going anywhere, staying home this year. That's always kind of less stressful, John. That won't be bad. Deshaun's seen the new SpongeBob movie. Awesome, Deshaun. Ethan says, yeah, Florida's coming to our local area for Christmas and next weekend. Yeah, we'll see. John's wearing shorts. I will be too, for sure. Lisa's hosting. Dot, your daughter's here from England. That's a big deal. Does she come home a lot, or is this a big deal that she's home this year? I would imagine she'd probably come home, or you go see her, right? At least once a year. Let's see. Mark's putting the salt spreader away, bringing out the lawnmower. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Angie, let's get you your answer here. Monday the 29th just looks cold behind this system. So here's your temperatures. Bitter cold air comes in behind that huge warm up. We would have lake effect snow east, but not here. Yeah, so there you go. There's your lake effect snow out towards the east. There might be some instability flurries flying around, but really, Angie, the only thing you need to know about the forecast, Monday the 29th is cold. It looks like it's going to get cold again. So there's that. Jill, oh, that's fun. College son's home. Yeah, it makes such a difference when you don't have to travel in the ice and snow, for sure. Yeah, Deshaun, that would be something. Wouldn't that be something if they built the stadium in Northwest Indiana? I know the saga continues. It's like a good soap opera. That would really be amazing, though. I don't know if they'll end up doing that, but I don't know if it's more of a threat than anything else. But there's that. Darren, thank you very much. You too, buddy. Appreciate that. Yeah, Maxwell, good metal detecting. What's this ground thaw's at? Yeah, you never know what you're going to find from all that. Yeah, Ethan, we certainly could. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Yeah. John says, go Bears. I appreciate that. All right, guys, we'll let you go. I don't want to waste any more of your time. You guys we'll be with you all week. We're not going anywhere. But if we don't talk between now and then, have a very Merry Christmas. Enjoy the quieter weather and the warm up this week. It's going to be more of a temperature story than a snowstorm story, and I'll take that. All right. Thanks again, guys. Bye.